プンハウス2020ご参加ありがとうございます。それではこれから、総研大卒業生世界一周グローバルネットワークを開始します。日本では緊急事態宣言が解除され、ニューノーマル、新しい生活様式で日常が再開されつつあります。この枠で、6名の総研大卒業者からコロナ禍の各国の状況を発表します。英語での発表です。ここから英語になります。
We shall now hear the first speaker, Zirun Zhu from China. Zirun, could you please tell us how people's life in China?
Yes. So I need to share my screen and start the presentation.
Thank you.
Is this okay now? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, good.
Okay, so I may give a short talk about in terms of the 3 points, like my current affiliation and research activities and how the impacts of the virus in China, and in particular its effects on education. Yeah. So my currently work in a company called Huawei. It's a Chinese multinational technology company. And you all know it sells smartphones equipped with the 5th generation communication technology, but actually it also sells some more basic telecommunication products like this base station. But my work there has nothing to do with the smartphones or the base stations. So I'm a research engineer there in a team that tries to develop some new general purpose programming languages. Well, for smartphone applications on Android platform, they use Java, Kotlin, or something else, and on iOS, they use Swift or Objective-C. So we want to have some new way to share this market. And my responsibility will be to design some language features, like this language will be more objective-oriented or more functional like that, and design the type systems for the language using these equations of this kind to try to prevent as many errors as possible during the compilation time. And now I show you the impact of this virus in China. And you all know the policies of China is very tough, but proved to be somehow effective and is appreciated by the World Health Organization later. So on 23rd January, the Wuhan city where the virus broke out in China was blocked, meaning that you cannot go out from the city via trains or highways, something like that. And other cities follow this strategy later. And the citizens are forced to stay at home. So you cannot go to shopping malls or go on a travel like that. And for some international issues, the foreigners are not allowed to enter China. And even for Chinese, if you want to go back overseas, you must pay for the 2-week forced quarantines like that. And but the life is still somehow not that boring, because thanks to the development of the internet, even stay at home, we can play game, shopping online, study online, like that. So even so, for this very long vacation, the life is not that boring. You can buy all the necessities online, and they will be delivered properly. So for the traditional workers cannot go to the factory, so they are free of work. But if you are hired by some IT company or financial company that is able to work from home, then unfortunately you are going to work earlier than others. So the life is like that. And now most shopping malls and tourist attractions are are open again. But if you want to go there, you must prove that you are in a good status, like your temperature must be lower than 37.3 Celsius, and you must show some healthy code, and it must be in some green status, like here. So this code will become red if you traveled to some dangerous zones in the past 2 weeks. So if you are in good status, you can basically go everywhere you want. I mean, in China. So basically now it's free of virus. And in particular, the effects of the virus on education is significant. So there are no classes for all the schools until March. I mean, even no online classes until March. So from March, the online classes are organized. And all the universities are closed until May. Now the students may return to the universities gradually. So they cannot go to the university altogether or off-site because to prevent the second breakout of the virus. And well, I would like to mention that the college entrance examination, which is the most important examination for all the Chinese, is also put off 1 month because of the virus. So students cannot get educated. So this examination is put off. That's fine. And luckily, if you are a PhD student, you can still graduate on time if you fulfill all the requirements and the dissertation, and you can find a good job as planned. So that's one of the good news. And because of this virus, the online classes grew very rapidly. So as you can see the data here, the users of the online classes is doubled within almost 1 year. And now the users of the online class take up almost half of the Chinese population. Take up almost half of the Chinese who connected to the internet, and more of the half are students. They need to have this online. So, and of course, for this new type of classes, there are advantages and disadvantages. For the advantages, I don't want to mention a lot because, well, it's better than nothing. You can get educated from home, and the techniques is kind of mature. So, I mean, in most of the time, the network connectivity is good, and you can see the slides and the teachers clearly. And there are no very low lags. And but for this kind of new types of classes, there are also some parts need to be improved. Like there will be less interaction between the teacher and the students. So fewer students will raise questions. So fewer feedback to the teachers, and the teacher cannot see the emotion of the students. So don't know if the student is listening or not, because the students can use his laptop to connect it to the class, but still play games or watch a video, use some other devices like smartphones. So the quality of the class may not be that good as a real one. And it's also less convenience for some classes like physics and mathematics that require lots of equations. It's hard to type the equations on slides, and not all teachers have that smart pencil that can write the equations on the virtual whiteboard. So that's basically what I think for the disadvantages of this new type of classes. And I think, yes, because of the time, I can only say this much. And so thank you for your attention today. These are the conditions in China, I think.
Thank you very much, Zirun.
Yeah. So I may turn off the screen sharing. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day.
Okay, so the next is Phanucheep from Vietnam. She will report recent situation in Vietnam in Japanese. She couldn't make it today, so she sent us a video. So we will watch the video.
皆さん、こんにちは。私はベトナムから来たウィンフィレと申します。今日はベトナムにおける新型コロナウイルスの状況と影響について発表させていただきます。はい、それでは、まずは自己紹介をさせていただきます。私は経営先生の研究室に在籍しました。去年の4月に卒業して帰国しました。現在はハノイ工科大学の情報通信学部に勤めています。毎日学生を教えたり、研究を行ってたりしています。または、ハノイ工科大学の、SP プログラムのコーディネーターとしてやっています。このプログラムは、日本語で仕事ができる IT エンジニアを、教えるプログラムです。で、中にベトナムにおけるCOVID-19 の状況について発表させていただきます。ベトナムにおける COVID-19 は主に4段階に分けられます。第1段階は1月の23日から2月の25日までにかけました。この段階には感染ケースは16人です。1000人は中国からの移動の履歴を持っています。この段階には、学生たちが全員休学しました。オンライン教育が実施されました。2月の27日に、感染された患者が全員治療されました。または、連続22日に、新規感染ケースがなかったので、全国に COVID-19 が教えられたと宣言されました。しかし、3月の6日に、第17番目の感染ケースが発見しました。そのせいで全国に第2段階に入りました。この段階は3月の6日から19までにかけます。この短い時期に69ケースが感染しました。また、第1段階と違って、第2段階には様々な国からの移動履歴を持っている患者がいます。ただ、この段階には感染源と移動履歴の追跡がまだ簡単でした。20日にベトナムの一番大きな病院に多くの感染ケースが発見しました。そのために全国に新規状況に入りました。政府は強いポリシーを実施しました。具体的にはすべての外国人の入国を中止しました。すべての入国ケースに対して14日間に集中隔離を実施しました。または4月の1日からソーシャルディスタンスを実施しました。このソーシャルディスタンスには、学生が全員休学しました。お店は全部クローズされました。社員に対してはテレワークが実施されました。このソーシャルディスタンスのおかげで23日からは状況がだんだん良くなってきました。4月の23日から今まではベトナムは感染ケースは56しかいないです。また、6月の8日から今までは連続53日にコミュニティに新規感染ケースがないです。だから、ソーシャルディスタンスが終了しました。で、今、全国には普通の生活に戻ってきました。で、これはベトナムにおける COVID-19 の集計数字になります。で、感染合計ケースは329ケースです。で、これの中に307人が 治療が完了しました。で、22人が治療を受けています。で、死亡がなかったです。で、COVID-19 はベトナムにすごく影響しました。で、皆さんの習慣もよく変えました。で、COVID-19 前には、オンライン教育とオンライン語学があまり、知られなかったです。ただ、今皆さんは、Zoom とか Google ハンガーとか、Microsoft Team とかはよく知っていて、よく使われています。または、COVID-19 のせいで、今年の後期の学期が延長されました。普通は5月の中旬に終了しましたけど、今年は7月の中旬までに延長されました。または大学の入学試験も変わりました。普通は全国試験の一つだけが実施されましたけど、今年はその試験と加えて、各大学は独立の試験も実施しています。私の発表はこれで終わりです。皆さんはお元気にお大事に行ってしてください。ご清聴どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you, Fire. It seems like Vietnam is doing very good now. Now, Phanucheep CHOTNITHI from Thailand. He also couldn't make it today, so we will watch another video.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to NII Open House 2020. My name is Phanucheep CHOTNITHI. So first of all, I need to thank you to NII for inviting me to this online presentation, and I have to sorry that I didn't do it live and recorded the video to you guys instead. Let's begin with my current situation right now. So after I graduated from SOKENDAI and research at NII on March this year, currently I'm working at Mobility Tech. So this company is a tech startup. So we have a service for on-demand transportation. And my job as a data scientist with being a part of data and algorithm team in this company. So mainly I'm working about doing the research and develop new algorithm to solve, to provide any solution and solve any problem to give more efficient service to our customer. So generally speaking, we mainly have two products in our company, which is a tuk-tuk and MoveMe. So let's talking about the impact of COVID-19 and situation in Thailand. So if we look at the number of the confirmed case, the last report on June 7, 2020 said that right now in Thailand we have 3,104 confirmed cases with 2,971 recovered. But unfortunately, the number of deaths person is 58 right now. But generally speaking, I would say that the overall situation in Thai is quite stable since we don't have any more new case, more than 5 cases per day for the last 2 weeks. And all of those new cases are from the quarantine. And this is the reason why the government decided to announce the phase 3 of loosening measure for COVID-19 that beginning of this month, June 1st, 2020. So this loosening measure will allow the business or activity with medium to high risk to be available and also reschedule the curfew from 23 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning. But per se, although we have allowed a lot of business right now, but they still have to adopt the policy about social distancing and quarantine as well. So in order to use any activity or any restaurant at all, we also have to wearing the mask and have to check for the fever even we try to buy the stuff at a convenience store. What I would like to talk and pretty interesting in Thailand is the concept of new normal in Thailand. So before COVID-19, most of Thai don't actually wearing the mask at all, even though they coughing and sneezing. But what I've seen is that after we have COVID-19, and although the situation is quite stable right now, most of Thai still wearing a mask, and it's also the requirement to using other restaurant and to go into convenience store as well. And what interesting is about the social distancing. To each other, so they put the mask to the seat that this seat is not allowed to sit on to keep a distance between each other. And the picture on the right is a barbecue plaza in Thailand. So since we don't allow us to sit near each other, so they also put the mask on the table as well. And what's interesting is they also put a cardboard doll opposite to those available seats to make the feel of a companion to eat with, and it's pretty funny and interesting in terms of business point of view. So, what about the effect of COVID-19 on education? So it definitely we need to delay the beginning of the new semester to July 1st, 2020, and this schedule is about 2 or 3 months late from the old schedule. Although the Ministry of Education also tried to shift to the online lecture as well, so they are now both teacher and student to prepare about the online lecture. So in terms of teacher, they need to prepare how to teaching online, how to record video and prepare slide and make a video conference of the classroom as well. We also have the demonstration for the online education via digital television, and with this demonstration, we found a lot of interesting problem, and so that I talk about the problem of this online education in Thailand. First of all, not all of the students have a device and the internet to access the online education at all. So when the government announced about online education, most of family need to um, buy the new device. But at this situation, not all of parents has the money to buy those new device for their children in order to do the online education, and this kind of a huge problem in Thai. Also, the learning efficiency might be worse than the classroom, especially on elementary and high school, because at this age, their attention is not quite good enough to study on their own, so they need the teacher, be in eye of the teacher to be able to learning efficiently. So this is the two main problem we found after we have demonstrated online education. So yeah, this is all of a COVID-19 situation in Thai. I would like to present to you guys, and thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Phanucheep. So Thailand has the same online education program as in Japan. Next up is Michael Robert Hanks from New Zealand. He's staying in Japan after graduation. Hello, Michael. Would you like to start your report?
Thank you. Yes, I'll just share my screen.
Thank you.
All right, can you hear me okay? I'll just have to hope so. So today I'll just be giving a short 5-minute talk on COVID-19, the state of education and the impact in New Zealand. My name, of course, is Michael Hanks. So just as a brief overview of my current research situation, after graduating from SOKENDAI University in March of 2019, I've been since working on quantum information science with the Nemoto lab at NII as a postdoctoral research fellow. In terms of the impact of COVID-19, there have been three major changes to the work that I've been involved in. The first, of course, is that everybody is working from home. Fortunately, the sort of research that we do makes it quite easy for everyone to continue because they all just need laptops, right? Fortunately, it's an information type work environment. Secondly, all collaboration and all group meetings and so on has now become online. So we're having maybe 3 or 4 meetings each week, just from all the different working subgroups. And finally, all conferences have become virtual. And this wouldn't seem like have such a big issue, although if you give a talk at a conference, of course, it's helpful to be able to see the audience and their reactions. And this does mean that because nobody is traveling, the conferences internationally are occurring in conflicting time zones. So it's now not unusual to have a conference that begins at maybe 11 p.m. or even sometimes 1 a.m. in the morning, which is quite a thing. Now, in terms of New Zealand, which is my home country, New Zealand is, for anyone here who is not familiar, just a little tiny pair of islands down in the sort of the southwest of the Pacific Ocean, almost directly south from Japan, but not quite. In terms of tackling COVID-19, New Zealand followed the 4 alert levels approach that I believe is quite common to many English-speaking countries. So what that means is that at level 1, they simply say people should pay attention to their health, and if they get sick, they should self-quarantine. At level 2, everyone is required to maintain 2 meters distance from all strangers, and gatherings with more than 100 people were restricted. At level 3, the government asks people to stay home unless it's necessary for work or for school. And then finally, at level 4, which is sort of the full lockdown mode, people are told to stay home. A state of emergency was declared, and all schools and non-essential businesses were closed. We entered level 4 on the 25th of March, but fortunately, things have since stabilized. So on the 8th of June, we returned all the way back to level 1. One other measure that the government has taken is to restrict international travel. So the New Zealand border is currently, as it says here, is currently closed to almost all inbound international travel. So this means that at least for the foreseeable future, I won't be going home to visit anyone. But this has, of course, had negative side effects on the economy, and particularly the tourism industry, which is very big in New Zealand. So here I've taken a graph from the Johns Hopkins tracking website on COVID-19. This data is the number of new daily cases for New Zealand. So we can see a couple of things. Firstly, the maximum daily cases only reached 89. So it hasn't been as bad in New Zealand as it has been in some other countries. The total number of cases has only reached a maximum of 1,504. To give some perspective, that's only 0.03% of the population. And the date of the last confirmed case was the 21st of May. So for about 2 or 3 weeks, there have been no new confirmed cases. And this is the reason that the government has returned us to a level 1 alert level. Now for the impacts on education. So there are only a few things to note here. The first is that certain institutions temporarily switched to online lectures, although this wasn't a very widespread thing. And the reason for that is that the lockdown simply didn't last very long. So institutions were able to just wait it out and then resume lectures as normal once we returned to the level 1 alert level. As I mentioned in the second point, now that we're back at level 1, normal schooling has resumed. So all children are back at primary and middle school and so on. But finally, what the ban on international travel has meant is a severe reduction in international student attendance. And this is a big deal for tertiary educators in New Zealand. And I understand for other countries like Australia and Canada, and maybe the UK as well. Because that international students are a large source of income for many of these tertiary providers. And so that's going to mean severe budgetary constraints in the next 6 months to a year if this can't be sorted out. And that about covers it. So as you can see, New Zealand has not been nearly as hard hit as certain other countries have. We've been quite lucky. Fortunately, perhaps someone like Japan, being an island, it's quite easy to isolate ourselves from the outside world when there is a large pandemic outbreak. I will just briefly mention actually that unlike in Japan, people in New Zealand do not have the habit of wearing a mask when they become ill. So social distancing is considered quite important for a situation like this. Although I have heard that plastic screens were used in cashiers at grocery stores and things, so a little bit like what we found in Tokyo. And with that, I think I'll stop. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. It's good to hear that there's no new cases recently in New Zealand. And it's a bit surprised that not many people are wearing masks in New Zealand.
That's just a cultural thing, I think.
Yeah,
but yes,
so.
I've been quite relieved about that as well, because of course I can't go back to see family there, so it's good that it hasn't taken up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next is Ezequiel Gustav Castellano from Argentina. He's also living in Japan. Okay, here you are. Please.
No. Yeah. I share my screen. Okay. Can I hear you? Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ezequiel Castellano, and I'm going to talk to you about how coronavirus affecting my life and the life of many Argentinians. So first, how coronavirus impacted in my research activities. Well, as Michael said, I mainly need a computer to work, so it didn't change much. Just like my commuting time got reduced from 45 minutes to 1 minute because I just need to jump from bed to the desk. Then meetings became online, and that maybe affects a bit socializing, but it's not a big deal with current technologies. And also conferences, as he mentioned, became online and tend to take longer days and less hours per day in order to maximize the cross attendance, the cross times on attendance, because as he mentioned, that's a problem because many people are in different countries and attending the same conference at the same time. And also I started to cook more because I stopped going to restaurants, so I started to do more recipes and cook at home. So now how coronavirus impacted in Argentina? Well, first, Argentina is on the other side of Japan. It's 7 times bigger than Japan and has 3 times less population. But actually, both countries have a very highly populated metropolis. In particular, the metropolitan area of Buenos Aires is has very high densities, where a third of the Argentinian population lives. So this is where most of the problems are. The coronavirus arrived in South America in March, and as we can see in this figure on the left, Brazil is the one that was hit the most because it's the country that took maybe less measures to contain the spread. While Argentina is one of the ones that has less amount of cases, even though it's the 3rd country in terms of population, and there weren't that many cases, and because there were many measures taken. So Argentina has its first coronavirus case in March 3rd, and it was from Milan, from Italy, as most of the first cases from Europe. Then on March 15th, very quickly, they decided to close the borders, national parks, and suspend classes, and both private and public. Then on March 19th, they order lockdown for everyone. Everyone is still at home. Only essential business could run. Later, mask became mandatory on April 13. So like now, if you want to go out on the street, you need to wear a mask. And on May the 10th, the lockdown got relaxed because except for Greater Buenos Aires, 85% of the cases, most of the countries didn't have much cases. So like the only place that has many cases is the Greater Buenos Aires. If we check here the number of new cases on these days were like 248 of 258. So like most of the cases were there. Then like new things like appear, like recreational activities for kids were allowed. Recently, people were allowed to run until like we arrived today, or like a few days ago, where we have almost 20,000 cases. But it's not all bad news because like actually 85% of the country reopened already with some prevention measures, and like 79% of the industries are open. Commerce 81%, and 100% of our agricultural industry, which is one of our main industries. So now how coronavirus impacted on education? Well, as in many places, the majority went virtual, both public and private institutions. But this varies a lot between the regions because as in the case of Thailand, there are places where there is no internet, or at least not good internet. So like the government like set up like TV channels with educational channel programs and like also provided books and material to present their lectures. But in the rest of the country, yeah, the majority is using like things like Google Classroom or Zoom, YouTube, Moodle, or many other tools to continue education online. This required a big effort from teachers and parents. And one of the key issues is like how it's gonna be the final evaluation, because we don't know after reopen, and we don't know when it's gonna be everything fine and reopen and education can be done. So in order to progressively return to classes, one of the ideas that it's been like popping out is that to have less students per course in the beginning and less days per week in order to maximize the distance between the students. And also for the first month or like I don't know how long, like the idea is to have a mix of virtual and physical classes in order to also like have less attendance per week. One possible plan is to start going to classes in September after the winter break, and having this idea of mixing virtual and physical classes, and not for every course, but like for the key courses. But actually, it's like in some areas, like where there are no coronavirus cases, already in May they started already. So coronavirus has changed our lives a lot, and we quickly adapted to those changes. And this also make us innovate in new ways of working, teaching, and living, and also improve our ways of working, studying, and general habits like hygiene. And hopefully this will evolve into more flexible and efficient environments in which people can choose between working from home or office, school, depending on their own preferences. So thank you very much. And after coronavirus, if you have time, visit Argentina, which is a nice country. And also thank you to my friends that helped me to confirm some of the information I was reading on media.
Thank you, Ezequiel. Good to hear that some industries and agriculture at almost normal conditions. And I hope the cases reduces very soon.
Yeah, I also hope so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so the final report is by Phanucheep from Italy. It's 6 a.m. in morning in Italy. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much for waking up so early, and I appreciate it. So I'll hand it over to you.
Okay,
Please.
yeah, it says screen. Okay, it says screen here.
Yep, looking good.
Okay, so yeah, hello everyone. So my name is Tat, so that I would like to present about life before and during the coronavirus pandemic in Italy. Yeah, I use the word during because the pandemic not over yet. So, yeah, so that here the outline of my presentation. That what I present my short biography and life before and during the pandemic in the policy and societal changes in education and project current with online study. So first of all, so I spent 4 years in undergraduate in Vietnam, and then 5 years as PhD student at SOKENDAI, and now I'm doing with the research team as group testing. And then now I'm spending 1 year as a postdoc at University of Padua in Italy with the research topic in cancer genomics. So cancer genomics, so that it can my task now is to look at the data scientists so that we should predict some novel genes and have to predict some new some and develop some computational model for biology and pharmacogenetics to improve the health treatment. Now, so that I go to the life before during the pandemic. So right now in Italy, so that the graph, so that the daily new cases and death from last year, from the December last year until the 9 June. So that as you can see that the number of cases surged in March and now it's reducing. So that the first cases are reporting in the late January, and by that time, so no one, so that everyone were happy and enjoy their life and gathering, and on the beginning of March, so that the country imposed partial lockdown in northern Italy, and in the 10th March, so the government imposed a full lockdown. So, and after that, so that by the 20 May, so that they imposed the partial lifting last week, so that it's almost they almost lift off the lockdown except for school. And we have to, and people must do social distancing since lockdown. So here, so that the policy and the societal changes in Italy, so that for in January, so that people can gather and no one needs to wear masks outdoors. And in the partial lockdown period, it's up to you. You can either choose wearing mask or not. But during the full lockdown, so that I think the full lockdown, so everyone must face covering or go to jail for 6 months. And if you want to go to supermarket or pharmacy, you must use gloves. Otherwise, you won't be allowed to enter the supermarket. So, and it's quite strange in Italy and also in European countries because people don't have a habit of wearing masks or using gloves. And so now, so in the after partial lifting, so people can walk around, but they have to practice social distancing. So, and now I would like to talk about changes in education. So before the partial lockdown, so school open. We can gather, we can have the physical classes. but after I think the past lockdown, all classes gone online and school closed, and we have to do the Zoom meeting. And it's so in Italy right now. So people think that the online study might last until January next year. And the pros and the cons with the online study. So the cons of that no interaction with others, and we don't have devices, just printer, scanner, or lab equipment. So and we cannot perform training experiment like some biology or some physics. So that is impossible because we are stay at home, work from home, and even we work from even we can enter the lab, but we can enter from 1 to 3 times every week, and it's less efficient than before. But the pros of that somehow also we can increase the efficiency after a while. And this the last one is just that, and we have comfortable sleeping place. So thank you for your attention. Yes.
Sorry. Thank you, Banta.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprise. Sorry.
Can you please stop? I don't know how to. Yeah. How to stop the screen?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's kind of surprising that Italy already decided to keep online study until next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good that it seems working very well in Italy.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, thank you. So we finally came to the end of the part of this session. We would like to say thank you again to presenters for the informative and interesting talks, and to the audience for coming. Hopefully the report will be beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attention. ではこれで総研大卒業生世界一周 NII グローバルネットワークのセッションを終わります。ご視聴ありがとうございました。